on the Weather Channel. Nick, over to you.
Well, Kelly, as you know, the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season is in the middle of September. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's when we'll see the strongest storms. In fact, the most intense hurricanes to land on the U.S. coast actually occurred in the 2 weeks before the peak. Katrina, Andrew, Camille, all powerful, all deadly, all memorable. They also all made landfall on the U.S. coast in mid to late August. In fact, the 5 U.S. landfalling hurricanes that were the most intense based on pressure at landfall struck within a narrow window on the calendar, a window only a little over 2 weeks long. The 1935 Labor Day hurricane made landfall in the Florida Keys on September 2nd, the most intense hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 in lowest pressure were 1969's Camille, Katrina in 2005, and Andrew in 1992. They all struck the U.S. coast in the second half of August. The 5th most intense, the Indianola hurricane in 1886, leveled the picturesque town on the coast of Texas. The city never recovered and no longer exists. Landfall was on August 20th. All 5 of these made landfall before the average peak of the hurricane season, which is September 10th. And there's a likely reason for this 2-week window of extreme hurricanes in our history just prior to the seasonal peak. The Weather Channel's senior meteorologist Stu Ostro says that early in the season, it's hard for a hurricane to reach the upper limits of intensity. Then, as September wears on, it gets harder for one to maintain that level of intensity all the way to the U.S. coast. This does not mean that an extreme hurricane can't strike outside this late August, early September timeframe. Many have. But it's a reminder that the days of the strongest hurricanes are now upon us. Now, another hurricane of note, Hurricane Wilma, was the most intense hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin. In 2005, it reached a record low pressure of 882 millibars. The storm would weaken before hitting the U.S., but still killed 63 people and caused $29 billion in total damage. Kelly?